Hey, welcome back. This is part 3 of our Rune Level 1 run, and I decided right before recording that I was going to get a soda to drink and a snack to eat. So, I apologize for any noise related to that. Also, sometimes my AC kicks on, and I've got some extra fans running when it kicks on in this room because it gets very hot in here. So in the last episode you may have heard some fan noise. I apologize if it kicks in again. But yeah, we're going back to Stormhill Shack because we're actually ready to get to the good part of the game, and that's going to be fighting some bosses. So first on our list is going to be Margit. So we're going to go up toward Stormvale Castle. We're going to rest at the Castleward Tunnel Site of Grace. We're going to kill that guy. He got way too close. We're going to sit down, de-aggro those guys. There's a summon for Roger. We're not going to use him. I'm going to put my light on. We're going to come out here. We're going to stop just before we trigger the cutscene. And use that time to drink our flask. And put Cragblade on both of our pickaxes. Then we're going to start the fight. Again, we're just going to use jumping attacks. Jumping L1s. We've already got him down to half health. Okay, we got staggered. We're looking pretty good. Okay, and that's Margit defeated. So we were well within our 3-minute strength tier time limit. And the good news is that also gives us a second talisman slot. So now we're not going to be bound to 3 minutes of being able to wield these weapons. We're going to be able to wield them just fine on our own. Because Talisman 2 is going to be the Star Scourge Heirloom. I almost called it the Stargazer's Heirloom, but the strength one. You know the one I mean.
You there? Come over here, would you? It's tight. The guards, you breach the... Yeah, you're...
Normally I'd say have Gustok open the gate and just run up that way. It's a lot faster.
What's it?
But in this case, I am going to go the intended route. But I'm going to kill him first. Make sure you kill him before you go this way. Otherwise, he locks you in a room with a banished knight. You still have to defeat the banished knight. No matter what, but if Gustok's dead, he won't lock you in the room, and I think you have more of an advantage that way. You'll see what I mean once we get there. I go up that way and jump down as far as I can, close to the Site of Grace, to avoid there's some bird. There's at least one bird, and birds in this game are just awful. One of the worst enemies. Take out all 3 of these guys. And proceed inside. Kill these 2 guys. They ought to be pretty easy. The challenge is the fire pot guys. They're not too much of a challenge, but they, as you can see, they took like half my health almost. I mean, if anything's going to kill you at this part of the game, it's going to be these firepot guys. Not including the Banished Knight that's behind this door. Whoa. I thought I was going over the edge there. Okay, so we can just open the door freely. Nobody to push us in and lock the door behind us. Because we killed that guy. We can Crag Blade, drink our flask. Crouch down, and we're going to sneak in here to the left. We're going to be sneaky. We're going to sneak right behind this Banished Knight. We're going to go for a backstab. And wow, that's surprised that's all it took. I thought for sure we'd have to hit him again. You don't need to kill this guy, but he's right there. Getting a backstab is always fun. There's another Banished Knight right in here, but we're going to ignore him and just head straight for the stairs. Because at the top of the steps here, there's a little room with another Site of Grace. The Rampart Tower Site of Grace. Okay, from here we're going to ignore the intended route. And we're going to just run and jump off the edge here. I used to think you had to get up on the part that's sticking up a little bit to make that jump, but no, you don't. You don't actually have to. You can run just like I just did and make it just fine. I will navigate around here. There are 3 enemies here. This first one that's just lying down on the job. It's the easiest to take out first. The buddy should follow you over here. Maybe don't screw it up like I did, but I still managed to take him out after taking a hit. These 2 are archers, so be mindful of that. With them dead, just climb up the ladder, and we can pick up the Claw Talisman. Now, we don't have a slot to put it in yet, but it'll be good to go ahead and have it in our inventory. We'll just save it for later. Because we will get our 3rd talisman slot after we defeat the next major boss. Which in our case will be Renala. I know some people will avoid Renala altogether and just go ahead and fight Radahn, Godric and Radahn. But we can't do that because something we want is in Raya Lucaria. So if we're going to go that far to get it, we might as well complete Raya Lucaria. I grabbed that Site of Grace because there's 2 birds up ahead. If I'm going to die right here, it's going to be to the birds. I want that golden seed. I want that Trina's lily. The birds are hot on my tail. Yep, there's fire from the bird. You can see them a little bit. In case you haven't gathered, I hate the birds in this game very much. I hate anything with like a weird, what I consider to be like a weird move set, and the birds have that. The red wolf has that. Like, God, I hate those things. I would not be surprised if when we get there, the red wolf of Radagon takes me more attempts than Renala does. It would not surprise me. We came over here to get these two items you see glowing in the back there, because they are cracked pots. And having 7 or 8 cracked pots by the time we get to the Godskin duo is going to be great. Like, 8 is perfect. That's what we want. 7, maybe even 6 is definitely doable. But you just have to account for the fact that we may end up wasting sleep pots, especially trying to sleep the Apostle, because he moves around and dodges those pretty easily. But here we are at Godric. So we're going in. Once again, just using jump attacks. Dodged the first one pretty decently, but that second one got me. Alright. I always miss the time. I miss the timing on so many of Godric's attacks. It's kind of sad, actually. While he's doing his chop off his hand animation, you get several hits in it from behind. Don't stand in front of him when he chops off his hand, because he can do damage to you. We'll just continue on in phase 2, get the riposte, and that should be it for him. So that is our first shard bearer defeated. So normally you'd run up here, open up this door, and go through here to get to the Liurnia of the Lakes. We've already been there, so we can just straight up warp. I'm almost done with my snack, I promise. This isn't important to the run. It's just me planning for future runs. So that's why I bought 12 of those smithing stones, is if I ever want to level up another weapon with this character. In fact, I'll go ahead and level up the Iron Ball. The Iron Ball is, like I said, it's one of my favorite weapons, so in another playthrough, if I use this character again, I'll probably use the Iron Ball. So might as well just go ahead and level it up too. But again, not really necessary for the pickaxe run that we're doing. Just sort of me going, what can I do now that I'm not going to want to do later? Or in New Game Plus. Okay, up here on the left is another Trina's Lily you can grab. Just a single one. Now the smart move here would be to run up these steps, run past these two guys, and just go into the door opening animation. That would be the smart move. Let's see if I do the smart thing. Nope. No, wow, I didn't even roll their attack. Like, what? That was... I think my brain turned off for a second there. Yeah, don't do that. But the absolute smart move is to just go straight for the door. If you're gonna fight them, at least like roll their initial magic attacks while you're running up the steps. I swear to God, I jumped into it. Like, what was that? Like, I think I left my body for a second. That's what happened. Alright, so we call the lift back down. Go back up. God, let me try not to screw that up again. That was... Ugh. Still can't believe that happened. Like, wow. I'm better than that, y'all. Yes, roll the attacks. The super smart move would be to just run straight to the site of grace. Because the marionette soldiers can be a little unpredictable, and they'll start like wildly swinging, and yeah, it's just... They can be a bad time, depending on the RNG. So again, the smart move would have just been to run straight to that site of grace. That way, even if they kill you, you'd respawn right there, your runes would be right there. And that's just good advice for any run, actually. If you can get to the site of grace, that's where you want to be, even if it means something's going to kill you. You want to die at the site of grace. Damn, he was... Bad touch, guy. It's always a gamble on whether or not one of those dogs jumps on the platform with you. I'm going to go up here, and after I activate the grace, I'm going to rest at it because it lines up the guy. He starts walking in from the left. Yeah. So if you ever want to know exactly where this guy is, just rest at the site of grace, and he'll just be walking in from the left side. I'm not putting up an attempt counter, but I get the strong feeling that Red Wolf is going to take more than one attempt. I'm not... Even in a normal run, I am not good at the Red Wolf fight. I didn't think he was going to do the jumping attack right there. God, he's so close. One more jumping attack ought to do it. Wow, I can't believe I got Red Wolf on the first try. That almost never happens in any of my runs. Red Wolf is usually a 3 or 4 attempt fight for me. Ignore the little jars. Just try not to get hit by them because there's a bunch of them, and while their attacks don't one-shot you, they gang up on you, and yeah, it could be a problem. But we wanna get that crackpot because, you know, more crackpots is more better, I guess. I don't know. Run in here, kill this guy. That's what we wanted, because that's gonna let us. Hey, look at Trina's Lily. How convenient. Oh, and a stone sword key. I honestly don't even know that we're going to be using all these stone sword keys that we're collecting, but I just... It's right there, and it's shiny. I have a problem. We're going to jump over here to ignore the first ball. And if we sprint, we can get up to the top when the second one drops and just avoid it by hugging the rail. Like so. Get a crack blade up. Don't want to use the Wondrous Physic here. We'll take out Moongrim. If you have trouble with him, you can also do the elevator cheese where you run and raise the lift and get him to fall into the hole. And if you get really lucky, I've actually had him ride the lift up and, like, glitch out. Like, he didn't fall, he never died, I never got the Guardian Shield, but I did one run where he just vanished. He wasn't up top anywhere, he wasn't down below anywhere, he never died, he just disappeared from the game. So maybe you'll get lucky like that if you try the elevator glitch with him, or the cheese. It's not really a glitch, it's cheese. But it's some good cheese. With the pickaxes doing the jump attacks, I'm not worried about him getting a riposte in. But yeah, he can absolutely 100% parry a lot of weapons in this game, so be careful with old Moongrim. He can be a problem. But yeah, now we can go fight Renala. Which I really don't see it taking more than one attempt. Unless I do something stupid. So, the possibility's there. I know that much. We're gonna send that elevator back down just in case. Alright, just thinking about how we're going to do this. I think it's probably going to be kill the first two glowy singers, and then maybe Cragblade, kill the third one, and then drink the Wondrous Physic. Because I think we should be able to one-cycle Renala Phase 1. I can't see us having to two-cycle it. So I just want to make sure that I have the Physic, I have Cragblade on when we go into Phase 2. Kind of thought it was going to start with the one standing right next to me, but it didn't. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. That was directed at, like, the falling, like, chandelier or whatever it is. Damn it, fire. Ah, shit! Find a place to Cragblade. him out. Or her, I guess. Drink the flask. Oh, that's not a good sign. Missing the first, just jumping right over her. That's not a great sign. Oh, fuck. That's annoying.
Thy fate lieth under my moon.
I was trying to drink the flask. She does look pretty cool when she stands there like that, though. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. But I can tell you that was already a bad omen when I jumped right over Renala Phase 1 and missed the first attack. I also think once you kill Renala, that the glowy kids should stop showing up. Like, I hate that I had done the last hit on her, and while she's in her death animation, another kid started glowing and threw a book at me. Like, that seems like an awful lot of bullshit. Whatever, it's fine. We're gonna go back up. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on this attempt. Really, we should have got it on the first attempt, but we didn't. So this is gonna be the one right here. I'm not gonna spend all day fighting Renala. There's no reason. There's no reason for it. Especially with 2 plus 13 weapons. Jesus. Just want someone to crack blade. You hit me. Okay, let's not jump over her. Get all our jumping attacks in. One more should do it. Yeah, I see you over there, folks. I did. Jumped a little early. I think. Oh, I thought I took damage there. Maybe I did. I'm not wearing a bubble anymore.
Dear daughter, weave thy night into being.
But either way, we got her. So, moving on to our next contestant. Fortunately, we've already been to Altus, so we're just going to warp right there.
Where did ye flee, my sweetings? Come out from
After we grab a set of grace, of course.
There are books and light aplenty, dither not. Come out, say I.
We don't really need them, but I really kind of want the runes that she's sitting on top of.
To be better born and
Because I didn't pick them up during the Phase 1 fight. Okay, so who's next? It's gonna be the Draconic Tree Sentinel. But first,
I had
only.
Almost forgot about the talisman slot we get after defeating Renala.
Become.
I guess it's after defeating any 2 shard bearers, but, you know. For us, that was Renala. Okay, so put the Claw Talisman in there, so now we've got the Radagon Sword Seal, the Star Scourge Heirloom, and the Claw Talisman. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. I can't remember, did I already put the affinity on the so we got the like magic whetstone. Yeah, I think I already did. Just had a brain fart there for a second, but I think I already did put it on there because we want these both to be cold pickaxes. I think I might have just talked over while I was doing it, so. Because having them both set to the cold affinity will build up the frost damage pretty quickly on most enemies. So just go whatever path you want up to the Draconic Tree Sentinel. This is the route I usually take. It tends to avoid most of the arrows from the golems. Sometimes I will get hit. Getting hit by one of those is probably death, but yeah, there was one that's pretty close. You can sneak up behind this guy and poison mist him, but I honestly think we should be able to do this. I think we're pretty well equipped for just a head-on fight. Just remember just jumping attacks. Like, throughout this game, jumping attacks are your friend. That should be the focus. The trick is just comes down to managing stamina. Which I didn't do a very good job of, and I didn't get the jump. I didn't mean to just do an attack there. I meant to jump attack. He was so close. So close. Okay, no problem. We'll try it again. It's like that's close enough for me to honestly believe it's 100% doable. Jumping attacks. Full stamina to come back. Go in for the fourth. In an ideal world, you dodge that. Okay, no big deal. That's just attempt number 3. Lots of people take a lot more attempts. Even in normal runs. So, like, this isn't bad for an RL1 run. Yeah, that's fine. I knew that was happening. I knew that was happening the second I jumped into the horse's fireball. There are just some things you know when you do them wrong. They're so wrong that it's just over at that point. Jumping into the fireball blast. That was my moment just now where I knew that fight was over. Alright, we're going to cry Blade up again. We're going for attempt number 4, I believe it is. Oh, that wasn't much of a stagger at all. Why sometimes when he staggers does he like fall back and sit there, and sometimes he doesn't? It's probably like the Knight's Cavalry, where you can target the rider or the horse. It's probably like sometimes I'm doing enough damage to the horse here that it staggers the horse, and sometimes it's not the horse that's getting staggered. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just want this to take less than 10 times. I don't want to exceed 10 times. Just gotta, like, manage my stamina. Know when to attack. That was a good time to attack. I don't know why I backed off at first. Okay, okay, we can do this. We can do this. He got stuck in his lightning, but it didn't matter, because he was already beaten. Okay, what was that, like 5, maybe 6 times? It's probably more than it should have taken, but still, overall, like, not bad. I guess on number of attempts, so far, the Draconic Tree Sentinel is the hardest boss we've encountered. So far. And by the way, there is an NPC summon for that fight, which I don't know how long it's been there, but I only learned about it like a few days ago. To be fair, I only like a month ago learned that there was a summon at the Commander O'Neill fight in Caelid, and it took me a surprisingly long time to realize there was a summon for Melina outside of Morgott. Like, I literally must have run past it like 100 times before I knew it was there. But again, I'm going to try not to summon on any of these fights. I'm going to try to... If I summon, it's just going to be on late game bosses. And as I mentioned in another video, when I do summon, the rule I have for myself is I'm not allowed to use any glove wards. It has to be a base level summon. I'm not going to use any NPC summons at all. Except for the Radahn fight. But that's like a whole different thing. I will use the NPC summons there.
For bringing here and thus I shall to farewell. I shall leave. I wish you have. I have no.
So I sat down at the site of grace, so we're going to lose Melina for a little while. The only advantage to not sitting at a site of grace is when you get up to, like, the Queen's Bedchamber site of grace. There's some extra dialogue you can get from her, but it's nothing like earth-shattering. Well. It might be if at that point you don't know about the whole Radagon and Marika situation. You don't need to fight this guy, but I kind of wanted to. because he does drop a Lord's Rune, which I think is 50,000 runes when you sell it. But I do need to go up this way. Because I do want to stop wearing the Haima Glintstone Crown. And the other mask that I know gives you +2 strength, which we have to have, is located right down here. And is dropped by this Omen Killer. Just right outside this church here. So I'm going to pick up the loot that's there. Rest at the site of grace. And then I'm going to get up and do my normal power up, which is cragblading and drinking my flask. It shouldn't take much to kill this guy, but if he does like unload on you, it's a lot. He'll probably kill you. Okay, we got the backstab, and we still need a jumping attack to finish him. And we got the Omen Smirk mask. So let's go ahead and equip that. Not that we're really using a ton of FP, but it's nice to not have your FP decreased by the armor you're wearing. In fact, the Omen Smirk mask gives you +2 to strength, and I don't think there's any disadvantage. Unless you discount any piece of armor's weight being a disadvantage. I picked up the Urge Steel Dagger for some reason. I don't think I've ever done a run with Urge Steel Daggers. But anytime I go this way, I pick it up. It's the only item down there I pick up. And I've never used the weapon. But every run, I will pick it up. Well, actually, every run where I need to go this way. Like, we came this way because of the Omen Smirk mask. Otherwise, I would have just taken Avenue Balcony to get to this point. Pick up a rune arc I'm not going to use. Yeah, I think I might have OCD or something, because like I'm just not going to use rune arcs, but like I have to pick it up. And like I'm laughing, but I'm also not joking when I said that, so I'm not making light of anyone that does have OCD. I legitimately think that like I have tendencies that are in line with someone suffering from OCD. Or as my wife says, I'm a little bit neurospicy. I don't really care enough about that golden seed to piss off that big boy there, so I'm gonna run past him. So up here is where you can get the Star Fist. It's basically the Iron Ball, but with innate bleed buildup. I still like the Iron Ball better. Because honestly, if I want bleed buildup, I've got so many better choices for weapons. So I just like the Iron Ball. I don't like the Star Fist as much, even though they're effectively the same. But what we can grab up there is what we just grabbed, and that is the Ritual Shield Talisman. Which means as long as you're at full health and wearing it, it'll decrease the damage you take. It's kind of like the Opaline Bubble tier. It'll let you tank a hit for the most part. But once you tank that hit, you're not going to be at full health, so you'll have to refill to take advantage of it again. And then it's not even useful against enemies that have attacks that like tick damage in rapid succession, because if you get hit by an attack that's just going to tick damage, the first hit is going to get rid of the advantage of the Ritual Shield Talisman, and then the second tick of the hit is probably going to kill you. But anyway, I felt like coming up here and murdering Kenneth Height. Which now just takes us one jumping attack. So yeah, totally worth it. Does anybody else feel compelled in this game to like murder Kenneth Height as much as I do? Like, sometimes he's not even on my mind, and I run by there, and he's like, is anyone interested? And as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, right, he's up there, let me go kill him. Sometimes I think I'm the bad guy in the lands between. Anyway, I think that's enough for this video. So, thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for part 4.